Hello, hello, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. As always, very excited to talk with you. Today, we're talking about how to deal with toxic nursing culture. If you are a nurse, nursing leader, healthcare leader, and you're listening to this, I'm excited that you have joined me because this is a very, very important topic. It's very near and dear to me as a nurse with more than 30 years' experience who actually encountered the nurses eat their young phenomenon when I was a student nurse. So I didn't even get to graduate nursing school and begin my career without experiencing the culture of nurses eat their young. And if you don't know it, Nurses Feed Their Young is a new movement. We are a global movement designed to transform nursing culture and work environment. And today I just want to talk with you a little bit about how to deal with toxic nursing culture, because sadly, this tends to be the rule as far as the type of communication that either new graduate nurses experience or seasoned nurses who are working on new units are also not immune to experiencing it. So I want to go over just quickly 5 key ways that nurses can deal with toxic nursing culture when and if they encounter it. So number one is to really hone your assertive communication skills. It's very important for you to have a go-to assertive communication statement that can be used when you encounter less than professional or disrespectful communication. And when you are communicating assertively, you're going to use I statements. We never want to say you're doing this and we don't want to be laying blame. Instead, we can use a statement that goes something like this: I feel uncomfortable when you speak to me in that tone of voice, and I would appreciate it if we could maybe move to a private area and lower our voices to continue this discussion. See what I mean? It's very clearly stating what you need and how you feel, but it doesn't lay any blame on anyone else. So that is really, really important. And many times you can just nip that behavior right in the bud with a very simple assertive statement. I used this statement once before in my career when I was working at a clinic, and one of the team members there was just coming to me and just really bad mouthing leadership, one of the members of leadership. And she went on and on for about 5 minutes, and it was very, very negative. And it was really just, it was going to affect my whole day if I didn't put a stop to it. And I just said, I really feel uncomfortable when we talk about other people and they're not in the room. So I would appreciate it if we just would go grab her and include her in this conversation before we continue. She kind of just looked at me as if I'd splashed a bucket of water in her face. And she left my office, and there was no need to continue the discussion. So problem solved, but also letting her know that that's not okay in my space. I don't do that in my space. And so that's an example of assertive communication, simple and to the point. Also, to deal with toxic nursing culture, you might want to build a support network. Connect with your peers who are like-minded and who value your opinion and behave as you do. They want to behave professionally. So migrate toward those people on your team and form a strong alliance so that you can have some strength and have some support when you need it. Because every once in a while, less than professional interactions are probably going to happen. But if you have a support network that you can talk to and maybe just vent a little bit and who can advise you on good next steps, you're going to feel supported and you're going to have those strong relationships that you need who can guide you through any tough interactions or challenging interactions that you experience. Okay. The next thing, I want to encourage you to learn to communicate with emotional intelligence. And the beautiful thing about emotional intelligence is that when we are emotionally intelligent beings, we are aware not only of how to regulate our own emotions, but we can also help other people regulate their own emotions when they communicate with us. So this is more than just being calm in a in a less than professional situation where maybe somebody is yelling. It's more than that. It's being able to practice empathy and understand the emotions and perspectives of other people, and being able to help them, okay, help them in a meaningful way to regulate their own emotions and behavior. So this is very different than what we learned years ago in therapeutic communication. But if you've not taken any continuing education or continuing professional development courses on emotional intelligence, I would encourage you to do that, because this is an excellent skill to have in your back pocket, and it will help you communicate with better with just about anybody, your family members included. So foster and learn emotional intelligence. The next thing I want to encourage you to do is advocate for and promote a zero tolerance policy for behaviors of incivility and bullying. Okay. Advocate. If you're not a nursing leader, then I want to call on the leader within you so that you can advocate for a zero tolerance policy on incivility and bullying behaviors. This is very, very important, that we promote nothing short of a professional and respectful work environment for nurses to function in. So having a zero tolerance policy for these things, in my opinion, should be a standard across every nursing unit in the country. And this would call for reporting of instances of less than professional or disrespectful behaviors to management, and encouraging other people to do the same, participating in training sessions that talk about how we can work together respectfully, with inclusivity, without any bullying, without incivility. But also, when we have a zero tolerance policy, it lets people know that this is behavior that is just not tolerated here. And as such, there will be discipline applied to people who choose to behave this way. So every nurse deserves to be treated with respect and dignity and professionalism when they're working on the unit, right? I hope everybody who's in hearing distance of this video agrees with that. And so zero tolerance policy just says exactly that. If you choose to behave otherwise, you can expect that disciplinary action will follow, and on down the way. So promote that zero tolerance policy in your organization, in your unit. And lastly, the fifth strategy I want to share with you today for how to deal with toxic nursing culture is to develop and engage in your own plan for self-care. All right. Too many times, self-care just gets diluted as a term, and it's something that we can't necessarily see any value in. But self-care means that you're going to prioritize your own mental and physical well-being by being out in nature, by exercising, by taking walks, by spending quality time with your family and friends, by laughing. That you will utilize also hospital resources that are available, like counseling services and other employee wellness programs. It also means that when you're at work, you will take regular breaks, and you'll also take time off from work to recharge your batteries, refuel, and avoid burnout. Working in a toxic nursing culture is exhausting. It is emotionally draining and exhausting. So be prepared to take good care of yourself. And lastly, what I want to encourage you to do is to join me for the Making Nurses Matter 4 Contact Hour workshop that's coming up later in August. This is an exciting workshop. It's going to be 4 days, 1 contact hour delivered per day in a virtual learning environment. On day 1, we're going to talk about why nurses quit, the truth about toxic nursing culture. Day 2, we're going to review the personality factor in creating positive change in nursing culture. Day 3, we will talk about communicating with influence for nursing leaders. And on day 4, we'll talk about creating a better future for nursing, first steps for navigating positive change. And so again, this is a 4-day virtual workshop coming up later in August. It's just $17 for contact hours. Replays are going to be available. You're going to learn something new, some new strategies. And I hope you will join me as I represent the Nurses Feed Their Young movement to present this workshop online so that you can be part of the solution. I cannot wait to see you there. Click the link below and go ahead and get yourself registered. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.